and welcome back to another video. In today's video, as you can see, I'm wearing an apron, so we're gonna do some bacon together. Now, disclaimer, I am not a baker. I like to bake, and I like to make my own little concoctions. But if you are a little more professional or a perfectionist, I might stress you out a little bit with how I do things. But if you're like me and whenever you bake, not everything goes to plan and you just work with it, then you are watching the perfect video, so keep watching. Today, I will be showing you how to make sweet potato cinnamon buns. Yeah, you heard that right, sweet potato cinnamon buns. These are not traditional, they're very different actually. They still resemble a cinnamon bun, taste like a cinnamon bun, but different than the cinnamon bun. Before I chat too much, let's get baking. Oh, I'm tired. Okay, let's bake. First things first, we need a sweet potato. Let's peel this bad boy. I got a little garbage bag here that all the skin, the outer edges, the skin, the sweet potato skin can go into. Yes, okay, perfect. Whenever I peel sweet potato, I swear like half of it ends up on the floor or just everywhere. Never right where I'm trying to get it, like the garbage bag or anything. They're messy little guys. Peeled, ready to go. Next step, get rid of that. And we're gonna pop this in the microwave for 3 minutes. Hot potato time. While the sweet potato is in the microwave, I'm just going to go ahead and preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Sweet potato done cooking. Chop it up a little bit. Doesn't really matter how you chop it because we are about to throw it into a food processor or blender. Anything that will just blend it nice and smooth. I'm gonna put it in my food processor. I mean, you could mash it with like a fork, but who really has the patience for that? Not me. And we just blend it up. All right, that is looking good. So it is all blended up nicely. Still steaming hot. So we're gonna put this into our bowl. Okay, now that our sweet potatoes done, we wanna add 4 tablespoons of vegan butter. I'm using Earth Balance. And now that we've added the butter, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of sugar. I use coconut sugar for mine. So now we have sweet potato, butter, and sugar in the bowl, and we're going to throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds. We just want the butter to melt a bit and all the flavors to absorb each other. Alright, it's out of the microwave and ready to be mixed together. Now in a separate bowl, we are going to put 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. 2½ cups. As you can tell, I'm not the most frugal baker, you know. I don't level things off. I just kind of wing it. It works out for me, so what can I say? And to the flour, we want to add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Just a little bit of salt. And 1 tablespoon of flax seeds, which is all I have left. So we will just pour that straight in. Okay, so this part's important. At this point in the flour mixture, you would also add 1 pack of instant yeast to help it raise. Personally, I wanted these to be more dense, so a little bit crispier on the outside and then chewier on the inside. You'll see when they're done, but this is how I really like them. But if you are looking for those fluffy, puffier cinnamon buns, add instant yeast right now. Just stop and add it right now. because you will need it. But if you want to try it exactly how I do and how I like them, no yeast. And we will just continue forward. So mix our flour mixture together. And now we will add our flour mixture to our sweet potato mixture. I just throw it all in at once. All good. And we stir that together. Just mix it up. And as I'm mixing the wet and dry ingredients together, I add in a little bit of milk alternative. I am using cashew milk. The reason I add the milk in now versus adding it to the wet ingredients earlier is because I always use different sized sweet potatoes. I don't really measure it. So if the sweet potato is a little larger, then the dough automatically is already going to be a bit more wet and I won't need as much milk, but I don't really know that till I'm at this stage. Alrighty, so the dough is almost mixed. So I'm going to go ahead and begin to mix it with my hands, see how the texture is. Okay, so the dough is feeling like it's pretty much ready. I'm going to just go ahead and sprinkle some flour on my countertop so that it doesn't stick to the table. Alrighty, so the dough is now a nice little dough ball. You want it to no longer be sticky. And now this little baby is ready to be rolled out. Before we start to roll the dough out though, I just wanted to mention, I'm not a baker. You know, I like to make my own creations here and there, but I don't necessarily have every tool to properly execute my baking. So normally I would need a rolling pin to roll this out. I don't have one. So I use my hydro flask as a rolling pin. So you can use any round cylinder-like object, especially this is really good because it's stainless steel, so it doesn't really stick to this too much. Anything that's just not glass, not gonna break and can roll it out, you're good to go. Dough is all ready, just leave it sitting on the side and let's get going on the filling. For the filling, you just want to use 4 tablespoons of vegan butter, half a cup of sugar, I'm using coconut sugar, and some cinnamon. On my dough, I sprinkle a little more cinnamon on top of it. And then I add my butter mixture. Now that my butter mixture is all spread evenly along the dough, I go ahead and add around 2 tablespoons of almond butter. And it works really well with the almond butter coconut glaze. Okay, so I already cut the edges off just because they weren't pretty. I didn't roll up that nice. All right, now we just want to slice them up. About yay big. Yep. Now that we have our cinnamon buns all sliced up, they are ready for the oven. We will put them in for 20 minutes and check on them after that. As our sweet potato cinnamon buns are now in the oven, we can make the glaze. I'm going to make a coconut milk glaze by using condensed coconut milk. This stuff is dangerously addictive. We're just gonna use half of this can. We don't need it all. And you probably won't even end up using all that topping. I don't know, maybe you will. So just put half of that into a bowl. And then to that, you just want to add 2 tablespoons of almond butter. mix it up. And now we are left with a almond butter coconut glaze for the top. That's going to wrap up this video. So if you enjoyed this chaotic baking session with me, please don't forget to give it up and subscribe down below, as it all really supports me and encourages me to create more content. Well, let me go enjoy these bad boys.